Hey guys, welcome back to FedEx Gaming's Redstone tutorials. In this tutorial, I'm showing you guys how to build a one-wide villager trading and sorting system. So as you can see, I have all my villagers right here. They're all confined in a one wide area. So when I click this button, that villager will go away, go back to the top, and it will just cycle through your villagers. So obviously, if I was you and I was building this thing, I would make it so maybe you have farmers in one little area, and you got your librarians in another area, and your just so on and so forth, just so they're not all cluttered together like this, and you know what trades you're going to be getting. But I just did this for the sake of the video, so I just chucked a bunch of villagers in there. But as you can see, it's all one wide. Each one works independently from the other one. So you can easily, if you have a lot of villagers and you don't feel like getting rid of any of them, if you have really good villagers, you can put them in a nice little confined area so zombies and things can't get them. They're going to be safe inside here. Obviously, you're going to have to light up the inside area over here like I did over here. Let's just go inside of it. As you see, I put some glowstone in here just so zombies and things don't spawn here. Obviously, the only thing you got to worry about is zombies. Those are the only things that are really going to attack your villagers. But as you can see, I lit up every little area just to be on the safe side. All right, guys, so for this build, we're going to need a 1x7 spacing. Now, I put 4 here because I'm going to be building 4 of them next to each other, since the rails do get tedious sometimes when you're building it, because depending on how your rails snap together, let me just take out some rails real quick. As you can see, if I go like this, let's say if I put down some powered rails like this. Now, I already have these powered rails going down a nice line, but sometimes when you put them next to each other, they automatically snap to each other like that, and that can pretty much ruin everything. Obviously, if I was going in this direction, then I wouldn't have to worry about that one little bit. But I'm going to be building it in the hard direction because, you know, it just makes it easier for you guys. Because if you're building it in this direction where they won't snap to each other, then you could just easily build this thing straight up and you don't have to worry about anything. But since, you know, snapping or whatever, you get the gist of it. So now to build just one of these, to build one little line, you're going to need a hopper, a dropper, a redstone comparator, 1 redstone repeater, 3 redstone torches, 1 button. You're going to need at least 10 power rails. Now, you can use regular rails in some other areas, but I highly recommend just power railing the whole thing up. That's so that, you know, the minecart goes up, down, over as fast as possible. So I highly recommend just, you know, just using powered rails straight up. And we'll pull out the rails in a little bit. And then we're also going to need at least 1 slab for each row. We're going to need at least 2 stairs of your choice, doesn't really matter. And I'm going to be using quartz as my stairing. That's just so the background right here, that's why they can easily phase through those blocks without getting hurt, because those are stairs, not normal blocks. And we'll get into that when we actually get over to that spot. And then we're going to need some blocks of choice for our redstone. So actually I didn't take that out. So I'm going to be using orange stained clay and then other blocks of choice. And we're going to get into all that when we you know, start building this thing. All right, guys, so once you got your 1x7 area and you've dug down your 2, right here at the beginning, the bottom left one, we're going to actually turn around and we're going to put a dropper facing towards us right here. Make sure it's a dropper, not a dispenser. And then we're going to put a hopper going into the side of the dropper by going into sneak mode like that. So now you can see the hoppers going into the dropper. Then coming out of this hopper right here, we're going to put a comparator going this way. Put a block in front of the comparator. Put a repeater coming out of the block like this. I'm going to get a top view of it. There we go. Put a repeater coming out of the block. Put a block in front of the repeater with a torch coming out the back side of it. Put a block above the torch. Right there. And then put a torch coming out the other side like that. Now, I know that's a lot right there, but it's just to keep everything one wide, guys. I wanted the whole thing to be one wide no matter what. Next, what I need you to do is just take out any random item and chuck inside this hopper. So usually I'll just get, like, you know, some dirt and chuck a piece of dirt in there like this. So just chuck 1 item in there. Make sure there's only 1 item inside your dropper, because if there's 2, then it will ruin the entire build. Next, what we're going to do is our railings. So right here, this is why I have an activator rail and a normal rail here, because when you're putting them next to each other, you're gonna have to go activator rail, normal rail, activator rail, normal rail. So on the top of your hopper, what I want you to do is go into sneak mode and then either take out a powered rail or an activator rail. I'm going to be taking out an activator rail. You could use a power rail or activator rail and put it right on top of this dropper like this. Next, what you're going to do is take out your block of choice. This is a block you will be able to see, and put it right above your activator end or power rail, and put a button coming off that block. And right there is where we're going to be activating it. So if I click this button, it'll activate the power activator rail, thus updating this dropper right here, sending a pulse through. So you should see that torch right there come on when I click this button. So boop, see the torch come on. That is what we want to happen. So if your torch is not pulsing like that, then you did something wrong and you're going to have to go back. All right, guys, so next what we're going to do is some railing. So come right behind the block that has the button on it and put another block like this. Then we're going to come down a block. So I usually just go put a block right above this block and put one right over. Then right on top of this block, so as you can see, we came 2 out and then 1 down. We're going to put a powered rail right above this block, like that. So you know what, just come out 3 blocks. Come out 3 right here. So come out 1, 2, 3. So put a powered rail right there. Then we're going to put another powered rail. So put 2 more powered rails like so, right above these blocks. Then right above this off torch right here, we're going to put a block like this. Then we're going to put a normal rail here. Then we're going to come up another block, put a powered rail here. And then we're going to come up 1 more block and put another powered rail like that. So it should look something like this. So when I click that button, these 3 powered rails should activate. So, boop. I see those 3 powered rails activated. That's just to send the minecarts through. It does a quick pulse, so no one gets trapped inside here. Next, what we're going to do is come out 1 more block, put another powered rail up here, then put a block in front of this powered rail like that. Next, take out your torches and put a torch right under here. This will activate all these powered rails right here. Next, we're going to need our slab for this part. So put a block right above this powered rail, then 1 right over, and then put a slab upside down right like that. That's so when the villagers are coming up through here, they don't hit their head in the block and get hurt. You know, you don't want your villagers to get hurt while they're going through the blocks, so this half slab will prevent that from happening. Next, we're going to come up a block right here. We're pretty much, I think we got to come up at least 3 more blocks. So 1, 2, and 3 like that. I'm pretty sure that's right. And yep, I'm right. Okay. So pretty much from the half slab, come up 3 more blocks. Next, take out your glass blocks. And well, you don't have to use glass blocks right here, but I like to be able to see in here. You know, I just like being able to see inside the whole entire villager. So you don't have to, but it just looks nice. So right above the second block from the button right here, just come up a piece of glass, delete this middle one, and then bring it all the way up to be 1 higher than here. So put 1 more like that. So when your villager goes up and around, he'll smack into the glass and then fall down right like that. So then right here, we're going to put 3 more powered rails. So 1, 2, 4 more, 3, and 4 like that. So that should be a total of 10 powered rails right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. A total of 10 powered rails. And like I said, you're going to need that extra powered rail in case you're going to put another one down here. All right, guys, so you are completely done. Now all you have to do is just get your village inside of there. Now, if you're doing this on survival, obviously you're going to have to figure out a way to put your villagers in. If you're doing this on creative, it's very easy to do it, but I'm going to show you how to do it, well, how I do it on survival. So what I usually do is just delete this block right here and delete this torch right here. And then what I'll do is usually bring it down like this, like that. And then I'll bring my powered rails all the way down and just make a whole line of powered rails like this. Usually, hopefully people have a bunch of powered rails by now. There's a bunch of, there's actually a bunch of different ways you can actually cheat your way to get powered rails, but I digress. So I usually will activate these powered rails. Then all you have to do is get your villager, the villager you want, onto the rail. So it's easy, you know, you usually can put blocks around it so he can't move and all that stuff. But I'm just going to try to do this really quick. So all you have to do is get your villager somewhere on top of these rails right here that are on. So as you can see all the ones that are on. So I'm going to put my villager up here like this. And then take your minecart and just put your minecart on top of the rail. And it should go back and forth until your villager's finally stuck inside of it. So as you can see, my villager's finally stuck inside of it. Then all we have to do is just come right back up here. Delete this one. Take out your blocks of choice. Put your blocks of choice up like that. Put your torch right back here, and you should go right into that little area. So there you go. So that's how I usually get my villagers in there on survival. Obviously, you could probably think of a better way, but I think that way is just, you know, simple and easy. But obviously, since I'm on creative, I could just go like this. I could just put a villager right up here, come down here, and then chuck a minecart down here, and it'll catch the villager and put him down there. Now, you can have up to at least 4 villagers. Now, as you can see, that villager got hurt right there because he phased through the block, but don't worry. Once you got 4 villagers in here, none of them will get hurt like that. So obviously, like I said before, we're going to need our stairs right here so we can hide all the redstone back there, which is what I like to do. So usually what I do is I'll come down with my block of choice. So just come down with your block of choice and then leave these 2 areas open for stairs. So right here, these 2 areas should be left open for stairs. So let me take out my stairs. You're going to need at least 2 stairs here. So we're going to go 1, 2 like that. So now the villager will phase through the stair and he won't get hurt. So as you can see, if I press the button, he doesn't get hurt, goes back around and falls down. Now, like you see, like I said before, he's going to end up getting hurt right here. Obviously, if you're not going to put that many villagers in there, you're only have 2 in there, then just come down a block and you'll be fine. But once you get all 4 villagers in there, none of them will get hurt anymore. So if I put a villager up here and then put a minecart down here, it'll catch the villager and stick him in there. There we go. Put one more villager can fit in there. You can have up to 4 villagers in this thing. There we go. So now none of them will get hurt anymore because click the button. Villager goes around, comes back around. As you see, he does not get hurt at all. And you can just keep doing this forever and ever. So it goes around and pops up. So now I'm going to show you guys how to make another one right next to it, because like I said, that snapping stuff can be very, very tedious. All right, guys. So when we're making another one right next to the other one, as you can see, we have an activator rail on top of this dropper. So the next one has to be a powered rail. So vice versa, you know, for each individual one. So we're just going to do the same thing we did before. So dropper, then we're going to put a hopper going into the side of it, put a comparator coming out of it, put a block coming out of the comparator, a repeater coming out of the block, a block in front of the repeater, a torch off the side of the block, a block above the torch, and a torch to the side. And that's all the redstone that we're pretty much going to need. Next, what we're going to do is, instead of an activator rail right here, we're going to put a powered rail right above this dropper. So put a powered rail. So that's so when we click this one, it won't activate that torch over there. See how that torch didn't get activated right there? That's so we can interchange them. So now all we have to do is put a block right above this powered rail and put a button here. So now if I click this button, as you can see, the torch will come on. Oh, I didn't put an item in there. Never mind. So take out a dirt block or something like that and just chuck it inside this hopper like this. Boop, there we go. So if I click this button, the power comes on. See how the power came on, but it's not touching this one over here. So if I click this one, the power does not come on through that torch over there. So that's how we can interchange them and have them right next to each other without them hurting, you know, well, not hurting, but, you know, messing around with one another. Next comes the difficult part, guys. This is where it gets difficult. So, because like I said at the beginning, you know, if you're setting up where they're going to be snapping like this, then it's going to get a little bit tedious. So this is the only way to usually get around it right here. So what we're going to do is, you know, just set up the same amount of blocks right here, you know, just follow the same pattern we had over there, you know, put a slab here. It's very easy just to follow the same pattern over and over. So we're going to have to set up the blocks around like this. Now this comes out of right here with this powered rail. Obviously we're gonna have a few problems just due to this one guy right here. He's the problem. So what we're gonna figure out a way around that, especially if you filled up your one area with villagers. I highly recommend, if you're gonna put multiples next to each other, then don't fill up your villagers just yet. But if you did, then I'll show you a way around that. So the best way to get through this part is what we're gonna have to do is delete this block right here in front of this villager, delete the block, come down a block right here and put a powered rail down like that. We're going to be deleting that afterwards once we put in another one. So once you got this powered rail right here, then we can go ahead and fit these ones in. See how they're not snapping to each other because this powered rail prevented that. So now if you want to, you can delete this powered rail, put the normal block back, and then, you know, go on from there. Next we're going to do is, so 3 powered rails. Then we're actually going to need our normal rail. So normal rail. Then we're going to have to put 2 more powered rails. 1, 2. Now obviously we can't do it yet because these will snap to each other. See, if I put a 1 here, it snaps like that and ruins everything. So we don't want to do that. So what we have to do is come down here, delete this torch, delete well, that one block you only had to delete, put a block right here, put a power rail coming off the one we just did, and then we can go ahead and stick a power rail inside here, delete it, and put it back. That's the only way around that snapping thing, guys. So there we go. And then we just got to put our torches back right here like that. Next we're going to do is come up right here. So put a powered rail up, up, and up. Now this one is where it's going to get a little tedious. So what you're going to have to do is, instead of deleting this one, because that guy's going to get in the way, we're going to come out a block right here, delete this powered rail instead of the one that usually we have to add a powered rail, we're going to have to delete it. And then we're going to put 2 powered rails here, 1, 2, then put this one back, then delete these 2 like that. That's so you can get around that snapping motion. And there you go, we have all our powered rails in. So if I put my block back right here, we can go ahead and add more villagers in right here. And obviously, you know, we just put extra blocks right here and then put some stairs like this. So, oh, no, don't connect together. There we go. So put some stairs like that. And then obviously now we can add some villagers. So let's get out our villagers, our minecarts. I'm just going to do it the quick way. Let's go like that and put a minecart here. Okay. Oh no! Oh, I forgot to put the glass. Trust me, I just noticed it. Oh, that's actually, I don't want him to mess up the other one. I completely forgot to put the glass. So obviously, you know, put the glass in. So let's get rid of this villager. I'm sorry, Mr. Villager. I'm sorry, I didn't want to kill you, but you gotta go. There we go. So next time, Michael, put in the glass. There we go. So put in your glass, and now we can go ahead and put our villagers in. So take out our villagers. And we can go ahead and put our villager in. Obviously, like I said, if you're on survival, you're gonna have to do it the way I showed before. There we go. That's 1 villager. Oh, I put the minecart on the wrong one. There we go. It's 2 villagers. Ugh, get rid of that. There we go. Fit up the 4 villagers in each one. So 2, 3, and number 4. So here we go. Now we got all 4 villagers inside that one. So now if I click the button, boop. As you can see, it does not hurt the other villager. Now you can see this thing going on right here where it looks like he's not inside his minecart. Now it will do that. Don't worry. All you have to do is if it starts doing that for every single one, just exit the game and then come back in and it will fix that. See how he's like not inside his minecart right now? All you literally have to do is just save the game, and then once you exit and come back in, it will fix itself and look like this. So don't worry about that. I don't know why it does that. It just does that from time to time. But once you fix it once, then it won't do it ever again. Trust me, that won't ever happen again once you leave the game and come back in. So I'm gonna show it one more time, guys. You know, the whole snapping thing and all that. I'm gonna do it one more time, and then we're gonna end the video. So pretty much what we're gonna do is just come down here, do the same thing again. Put a dropper facing this way. Put a hopper going into the side of it. Put a comparator coming out of the dropper. And then, oh, you know what? We need blocks. There we go. Put a block in front of the comparator. A repeater coming out of the block. A block in front of the repeater. Torch. Block above the torch. Torch to the side. Then right over here, since we put activator rail, powered rail, then we're going to put another activator rail on top of this one like that. Next, go ahead and put your block right above it with your button on it. And then obviously we're going to have to take out a dirt block. Put a dirt block inside here. It doesn't really matter. You can put any block you want, guys, but I just go with dirt. Dirt's the easiest thing to get. Next, what we're going to do is put the blocks down. So just, you know, follow the same pattern we did over there. Just follow this pattern. Put come on, slab. There we go. Block, block, block. And then we can also, you know, do this pattern right here if we want to. I don't have my stairs out right now, so I'll just do that later. So obviously, like I said last time, what you're gonna have to do is the one closest to it, it's gonna snap together. If you don't do this, is delete this block, put a block down, then put a powered rail right here. Then we're gonna go ahead and put our powered rail in. You can go ahead and delete this right now if you want to, and then put your block back, and then just do 3 powered rails. So 1, 2, 3, normal rail, then 3 power rails, 1, 2, and then obviously right here we're gonna have to delete this block, delete this torch, put a block here with your powered rail coming out, then put another one here, then we're gonna just delete it and put it straight back in like that, and then we could put the same one right here. There we go. Then we're just gonna go powered rail, powered rail, powered rail. All right, guys, so this is the part that's going to get a little bit harder again, because like I said, if you fill up your area with your villagers, then it's going to get hard up here. Now, this is the whole problem. If I delete this one right here, it's going to end up snapping together. So usually the only way you can usually get around this from happening is we're going to have to remove one of our villagers from our minecart. But obviously, you don't have to kill them. All you have to do is come over here, delete this middle one, because this is the one we have to get rid of. We have to put a unsnapping one right here. So what we're gonna do is delete that, come out like this, one more, and then come up a block like this, and we're gonna put a normal rail inside of here, and then go ahead and put a torch. We still have to send power to this. We still have to send power right here. So what I normally do is just come right underneath it, like that, come right underneath it, and just put a powered rail to still send power straight through these. So now what we have to do is just click the middle one once. It'll send one of your guys up, but he'll get stuck in there. Now what we're gonna do is right here in the middle, put a block with another rail. And now we can go ahead and put this one in. There you go. And then we just delete these 2. And there you go. Now all 3 of them are in. And all you have to do now is just send your guy up there. Go, get up there. And then just delete this and put it back to the normal way it was. So let's put some blocks here, a torch here, and there you go. Now you have a 3rd one. Oh, you know what? I gotta delete this torch down here as well. Almost forgot. So make sure you delete that torch after doing it, or else this will be off. But there you guys go. Now we have 3 set in. So now all I have to do is put some blocks right here. And then obviously, since I'm on creative, all I have to do, oh, you know what? Almost forgot to. Almost forgot to put the glass in again. That would have been bad. So you go ahead and put your glass in like this. There we go. And then obviously, you know, put a villager up here. If you're on creative, you know, you could just easily do this. Put some villagers in. Man, I'm getting a lot of librarians for some reason. And here we go. And we can fit one more in there. Man, what happened to that one? How did that happen? You see that right there? How did that happen? I've never seen that happen before. Oh, is it because I forgot to put in my blocks right there? My blocks of choice? Well, he's fine. I mean, he went right down. I've never seen that happen before. He did it again. This one, I think this guy's just messed up. Look at that. It's just him. He's the only one doing. I've never seen that happen before. But as you can see, he was fine. So if that happens to you, obviously, I think all you have to do is just leave the game and come back in. So let me just put these down. There we go. So now what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to leave the game and I'm going to come back in real fast. So, all right, guys, and we are back. As you can see, once I left the game and I came back in, everything got fixed. They're all nicely snugged up together in the same motion. And once we click the button, as you can see, it won't change anything. Once you leave the game and come back in, it fixes everything. So like I said, don't worry about that. But there you guys go. That is how you build my one wide villager sorter and trading system. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave it a like and subscribe to stay tuned with my newest videos. And obviously you're going to have to light up the area if you're going to put a cap around it. I highly recommend putting a cap at least right here so the villagers can't get hit by zombies and things like that. The caps really help. And when you're building the caps, just make sure you put some sort of lighting inside of it. I put glowstone. Obviously you can use torches so you don't have to spend the glowstone. All right, guys, peace.